asking me if that's only working. But I just say on the off chance that it do happen, someone would feel not really feel on me, but I just bring it to your attention. So us do a quick poll with the boys, with the girls that come together, and then work with the police and then so set it and start fresh. But you gotta let me know quickly. Oh, I can let you fresh.
Check, check. Bad cable. Check, check. Marsha, hello. Hello. She can disengage at the box? If she can disengage? Yeah, is it possible that she can mute you or something at the box? She can't mute that channel. Okay. Check, check, check. Hey, 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 hey. Testing 1, 2. Yeah, you can hear me?
Call a camera for me quickly.
You can hear me clearly now.
Okay, Marsha, we wanted to know from Nisi if when we tell her if when we cue you, if that's when she will cue volleyball to start.
They want to know if when they cue me is when you will cue.
Yeah.
Okay, so stand by. Okay.
Hello and welcome to Brandon's Beach in Barbados for the Big Beach Festival 2025. Now it's the 7th edition of the Barbados Olympic Association's Independence Invitational Games right here on location at Brandon's Beach. I am Marsha Boyce and with me is Anicia Wood. She is the chair of the Beach Volleyball Commission, as tonight we bring you coverage of the Capture the Crown Beach Volleyball competition. But just to tell you a bit about the big festival, we had 10 sports for the 2025 edition, a number of those sports being spread across 3 different venues, Stade Center, here at Brandon's Beach, and of course we journeyed to the Soup Bowl on the east coast of Barbados for the surfing competition. This year's festival is being held in collaboration with We Gathering. Now, what exactly is We Gathering? Well, it's a national year-round celebration of Barbadian history, culture, and community, starting in January, with each month representing a single parish. Then we culminate in November in the parish of St. Michael, the home of the capital city of Bridgetown, Barbados. Now, We Gathering are one of the major sponsors of this year's festival, but we also have multiple other festivals for the 2025 edition. Those other sponsors, we'd like to say a special thank you to Sagicor General, Flow Barbados, the Barbados Lottery, Stads Visitor Center, Rascals Barbados Restaurant and Bar, Atlantic Marketing, Bryden Stokes and Distribution, Pharmacy Sales, Aventa Barbados, and Glacier Pure. And of course, for the Capture the Crown competition, we have a special sponsor in Courts Ready Cash. They will be sponsoring the special prizes for this particular festival. So, Anicia, tell us a bit about this competition that we are getting ready to witness. How many teams do we have competing this year in the Capture the Crown Beach Volleyball Festival?
So this year we have 20 teams, 12 men's and 8 female teams.
And compared to previous years, would you say this is an increase in the overall entries or a decrease somewhat?
I would say overall it is an increase because we have more female teams competing, which is quite well. Because normally you will find, of course, we have the men, they would come out in their numbers, and the women we get like 5 or 6. But this year we actually have 8, which is, to me, pretty good. And for the men, we have about 12 teams. As I mentioned before, last year we had 15.
So it's an invitational independence festival. Do we have any invitational teams, any teams from overseas competing here as well?
Well, we have our Kittians, Tush, Tilokani, and Sebastian. They are from St. Kitts and Nevis. They go to school here at the University of the West Indies, and they have been joining us from the time we would have started this edition of the game. So they are our only overseas competitors.
So 8 women's teams would have started the competition, with 5 making the final. Tell us about that road to the final.
So we started with, the competition basically starts with 4 rounds. We have the preliminaries, we have the quarters, we have the semifinals, and today, of course, we have the finals. Normally, you would start with 20 teams. When you go to the quarterfinals, you have 15 teams. When you go to the semis, 10. And obviously, the finals, you have 5 finalists. For the men, they would have started the quarterfinals with 12 teams. And today we had the semifinals with 2 pools of 5. We have some very young and dynamic players in Sit Sabangooners who dominated the semifinals today. Right now you're going to see some veterans in terms of OJs. This is Omar Seeley and Jonathan Allen. And of course you have Akeem Mears, who would have won with his previous partner, Ronald Rice, but he was unable to make it today. So of course he called in his good friend Paul Doughty, and they were able to secure the final spot because of course we had an elimination game for that last and final spot, and they were able to secure that spot for the men finalists. As the women, as we see here, we have 5 young teams. The veterans will probably be Julia Lewis and Tennille Chapman Goodluck. But besides that, we have all of our other 4 finalists. They are probably all under 17 years of age.
And before we take a closer look at these teams, tell us about the format of this particular version of beach volleyball for those who might not be too familiar with how this is played.
Yes. So instead of the regular 2 versus 2, where you just have 2 teams competing against each other, here you're seeing 5 teams in a rotational type style format. 10 minutes per set, so you have 3 sets. 5 teams start in the first set, 10 minutes per set. You try to get as many points as you could on the crown side. You have 2 sides, the crown side and the challenger side. You can only get points on the crown side. So once you get on the crown side, the aim is to stay on the crown side. Again, once that set is finished, that buzzer goes off, the team with the lowest score in that first set is eliminated. They don't go on to the second and the subsequent set. Now the second set starts, you have 4 teams. Again, same. You try to get as many points in 10 minutes. Again, the lowest scoring team, they don't move on to the third set. And at the end of the 3 sets, you total those points. And of course, in this format, the top 5 teams from the semifinals, so the top or the highest ranking teams, they advance right here to this finals.
Now, each set is about 10 minutes long. what happens if there's a tie, for that bottom place?
That is a very good question, Marcia. So if they happen to be a tie, so let's say we have 2 or 3 teams with the same lowest score, we will play a 3-point regular match, regular volleyball rules, and the first team to 3 points, they get to add mats to the next set.
Okay, great. Now, Anicia, let's take a look at some of these teams. The first up, new to this, not true to this, the team of Gianna Leacock and Michaela Mears. They'll be in the neon green. What can you tell us about this pair?
So they are new to beach. They have never entered a beach competition before, so this is their first time on the sand in this format, of course. And they did quite an amazing job, I must say. The few times I got to see them, to me, their strength is basically defense. They're, of course, not the tallest, but they're very good defensively, and I think that is what put them in this position to actually be here for the finals.
And then in neon yellow, we have the team of DJ Hazard. That's Destiny Lane and Janika Grant.
These are the team to watch. This pair, I think everybody here is expecting them to win. They are explosive, they are fast, they play very good together. We would have just actually sent them to a youth qualifier in Tobago where they came first amongst the Caribbean countries, and they have the experience here on the beach. Destiny, of course, she has been to a few beach tournaments regionally, so I expect them to do quite well. They are the favorites.
Oh, nice. Then in purple, we have the team of Sandy Cheeks, fitting for the beach, Kazara Batson and Gabrielle Sandford.
Now, Kuzara Batson and Gabby, they are feisty. I think they would give some people
that description.
They are, especially Gabby. They are going to shock some people. If they get off to a good start, I think they'll do quite well.
And there you see Gabrielle on screen. And also Team 4 Ballers. They'll be up in pink. Tennille Chapman Goodluck and Julia Lewis, the experienced team in the bunch.
Definitely so. This was an unexpected pairing, to be quite frank, but they have played quite well. Julia, obviously, she has loads of experience. Tennille, she is in a class of her own, I believe, on the indoor side, but she still have that capability to bring it to the sand, so I expect them to do well as.
And definitely fans of regional volleyball,
that is
indoor
correct.
volleyball, will be pretty familiar with Julia Lewis and Tennille.
Exactly.
And then our final team in this women's final, we have Phoenix Red CC with Tiffany Webster and Shakira Oliver.
So they're new to beach as well. I don't think they would have ever played a beach volleyball competition, but I think they have the capabilities to actually perform. I'm not saying they're going to be in the top 3, but I think they could compete with the others as well.
So you mentioned Team DJ Hazard being the favorites. Are they your potential favorites as well? Or
They are. The only downside they have is probably the mental side. I know Cheese, I was going to say Cheese, but that is Julia's nickname. I know Julia is very good in playing the mental side of the game. And if she gets into their heads, I could see a little downward spiral. But other than that, I think their power, their defense, their speed, their force is going to dominate tonight.
And before we get things going with that big final, just to let you know, beach volleyball is just one of the 10 sports for this big games this year. We had beach netball, aquathlon, road tennis, the indigenous sport for Barbados, weightlifting, beach wrestling, beach football for the women, rowing, surfing, beach rugby, and of course, beach volleyball as the teams get ready for the introductions. And you can see here now the teams are pulling cards. Can you give us a sense of what's happening here?
Definitely. So we have 5 cards on deck. We have a queen, we have an ace, a 2, a 3, and a 4. The team that pulls the queen, they will start on the queen side. The team that pulls the 1, they will be the first server. 2, 3, and 4, they will be the subsequent servers. And this is really just to have a fair start. Random drawing, luck of the draw, and you're good to go.
Do you think there's any advantage to starting on any particular side?
Well, of course you want to start on the crown side. You want to start on the crown side because that is the side where you can gain points. Granted, you do not get points off of service errors within the first 9 minutes of the game. What is new this time around, in the last minute of that 10-minute period, bad service counts. So if you're on the crown side and the team happens to serve out, they serve long, they serve wide, that is a point for that team on the crown side.
and you're watching coverage of the BiiG Beach Festival 2025 live from Brandon's Beach in Barbados. It's the 7th edition of the Barbados Olympic Association's Independence Invitational Games, bringing you coverage of the Capture the Crown beach volleyball competition. And now we see the teams taking to the court.
So now they have 5 minutes to warm up at the net. After that, we will have the official start of the 2023 Capture the Crown Female Finals. 2025 Capture the Crown Female Finals.
And Anicia, for this particular mode of volleyball, which players do you think would do the best? You know, players who are extremely attacking, players who might be relatively defensive, you know, which skills are valued in this format of the game?
I think having a range of skill sets, because you have to bear in mind that you're playing against 5 different teams. So every time a team comes on the court, you have to play a tactical game against that team and not the entire bunch of teams. So the team that is smart enough to say, you know what, against, let's say, Sandy Cheeks or against ballers, I know Tennille is probably the weaker defender, the weaker blocker. Let's push the ball towards her. So you have to be very strategic in terms of how you reset every single time that whistle blows, because every single team is different. So it's really the team that could adjust and refocus.
And how much is a factor is stamina, for argument's sake, in this format?
Stamina is a big factor in this game. And what makes it so difficult for these teams, normally when we're playing 2 versus 2, you usually stay on your side for 7 points. In this competition, it is a non-stop movement. So as soon as you win a point from the challenger side, you're charging across to the net side just before the whistle is blown. If you lose the point, you have to charge and go back to the challenger side, so you're always on the go. So you would find throughout this competition, you will see teams huffing and puffing because they are tired. And 10 minutes might seem like a little, but it's quite a lot once you're on that sand, constantly moving.
What would you say makes the perfect pairing?
The perfect pairing, I will give you 3 characteristics. Fitness, for sure. Fitness, skill set in terms of having one who is dominant as a blocker and one who is dominant as a defender. And probably creativity in terms of their shot placement, because you can't go for all power in a game where fatigue is going to set in. You have to be able to say, you know what, I don't need to drive this ball hard into the court, but I'm going to look and see where I could actually place the ball.
And as we watch the teams warm up, what are some of the things we should be looking for?
Well, normally in this type of warm-up, I realize they're warming up quite differently, but usually in this style of game, you try to warm up the same way you're going to play, where you have a team on the crown side and you have the line of players serving. So it's quite interesting that they're actually warming up how 2 versus 2 games would actually warm up.
Keep going. Keep going.
And we see all 5 teams on the court. Just to remind you of those teams, we have new to this, not true to this, in neon green. That's the pairing of Gianna Leacock and Michaela Mears. DJ Hazard in neon yellow. That's the pair of Destiny Lane and Janica Grant. Sandy Cheeks in purple, Kazara Batson and Gabrielle Sandiford. In pink, we have the Ballers. That's the experienced team of Julia Lewis and Tennille Chapman Goodluck. And Team Phoenix Red CC, they'll be in sky blue. That's the pairing of Tiffany Webster and Shakira Oliver. Webster and Oliver there on screen, getting their bearings of this court. And for this particular format, do the court dimensions, etc., does all of that remain the same when compared to traditional beach volleyball?
Yes, the court is the same size, the net height is the same, the specs remain the same. What I think would be different here for these players, though, Marcia, considering that this is their first beach volleyball tournament where we have a lovely setup here, where you have they're playing under the lights in front of a nice, decent crowd, I could see the nerves setting in a bit. You know, normally they are accustomed to playing indoor. They're comfortable in those type of situations. But now, with, again, playing under the lights, on the sand, they would want to hold their nerves back a bit just so they could perform as well as they could.
And as you mentioned, the final taking place under the lights, but the preliminary rounds would have, happened bright daylight, sunshine, it's hot, it's sweaty. Does it take any special effort, or what transitions do the players have to make, when compared to playing in the day versus playing at night under the lights?
So playing in the day, we would have started our competition at 3 p.m. And as you know, in this day and age, it is quite hot and heated. You would find a lot of players, they were staying well hydrated. Again, feeling that sun, it brings on fatigue a bit faster. Now you have a cooler type of environment. The only downside, playing under the lights, the light might obscure a bit of their vision if the ball is caught in the light. But other than that, I think a lot of players would prefer to play under the lights than in the sun, under heated conditions.
And do you, as a player, can I say former player? Former player, prefer this format?
Definitely. Any former player would tell you they would prefer to play when it's cool outside. They are not, obviously they're going to exert a bit of, they're going to exert themselves somewhat. But again, once it's cool outside, you don't have to be applying your sunblock. You don't have to run into take the parades or the water as frequently as you would if you were playing in the heat. I would definitely say this is the ideal conditions for any beach volleyball player.
Quickly then, as we get ready to start, just give us a quick rundown of these rules. We're starting with 3 sets.
So we have 3 sets here in this final. Each set 10 minutes long. The objective is to score as many points as possible on the crown side. The team that scores the least amount of points each set, they are eliminated. So we start with 5 teams. The lowest scoring team would be eliminated after those 10 minutes are gone in that first set. Second set will start with 4 teams. Again, the aim is to gain as many points as possible. The lowest scoring team will be then eliminated from the second set, and that third set would be 3 final teams. So the first team which is eliminated from the first set, that team would obviously finish 5th. The second team eliminated in the second set, they would obviously finish 4th. And in that third and final set, based on the points in that set, will determine the first, second, and third place finishers.
And our officials for this particular final?
So our officials for this final, we have Sharon Bovell, well-known and former beach national volleyball player as well. And her second referee, we have Richie.
And we see the players taken to the court, so we hand over for the official introduction.
In blue jerseys, followed by new to this, not true to this, the team of Gianni Leacock and Michaela Mears in the fluorescent green jerseys. And last but not least, the team Ballers with Tennille Chapman Goodluck and Julia Lewis in pink jerseys. And my referees are ready, my athletes are ready, my scorers are ready, my timekeeper is ready, on my horn, and we're good to go.
So here we have a decent rally starting so far. Everyone is playing it safe. And we have a net error call there on the sandy cheat. So Destiny and Janika, DJ Hazards, they head over to the crown side. Again, you can only score a point on the crown side. And they would have scored their first point.
So the first point's on the board.
Again, they make it quite easy. They're both very good passers, very good attackers, as you can see. And here, they would be the team to beat. Ooh, what a big serve there by Tennille Chapman Goodluck. That takes Ballers over to the crown side.
Ballers immediately making their presence felt.
Exactly. And you do not score points moving from the challenger side to the crown side. You have to gain that point on the crown side. And
some good movement there from the Ballers team.
They're moving quite well. But a nice cheeky shot there by Kuzara Batson. The net was on her side. and it takes Sandy Cheeks back over to the crown side.
And now Phoenix Red CC hoping for their first chance to go on the crown side, but unfortunately missing out this time.
Exactly. Miscommunication there between the two. And we have new to this, not true to this. They are making their first appearance on the crown side. And an ace there by Janica from DJ Hazards. They head back over to the crown side. They lead with 2 points. And Destiny, the lefty, she is quite powerful. And what I like about Destiny, she has a range of shots. She could hit it hard. She could work it in the spots with a nice finesse shot. She's very, very good.
So far, the pre-final favorites living up to their billing. That's Destiny Grant and Janika. That's Destiny Lane and Janika Grant of a DJ Hazard.
And as you can see there, Janika with the short roll. She too has a range of shots in her arsenal. So right now, the only teams on the board, Sandy Cheeks, Sandyford, and Batson, and DJ Hazards. What a shot, a standing shot. She didn't even jump, but she was able to score to make it over to the crown side. Service error there from Tennille.
So that's new to this, not true to this.
But they remain scoreless because you do not get any points from service errors within the first 9 minutes of the set.
Still searching for their first points.
If you notice, these teams are not blocking. They are simply staying off the net and playing defense. And they don't necessarily need to block because you don't have any real big spiker, besides Destiny, of course, who's going to jump up and pound the ball into the court. So their strategy is really to sit back and try to cover as much court as possible.
We have the team of Phoenix Red, CC, Webster, and Oliver getting on the board, picking up 2 quick points. But unfortunately, turnover.
They didn't stay too long. A tight set there by Cheese.
And interestingly, the most experienced teams are the ones facing potential elimination with about 5 minutes remaining in this first set. We're about halfway through, and the team of Chapman, Goodluck, and Lewis still searching for those first points.
Along with Mears and Leacock. And let's say they both finish with 0 points after the buzzer goes off. They would play a mini elimination game, the first to 3 points, standard volleyball rules. The team who reaches 3 points first, they will move on to the second set.
So at this stage, would you have predicted that the team in pink, Ballers, would have been pointless?
No,
not
still
at searching to get on the board.
Not at all. After DJ Hazards, Sandy Cheeks, I had my money on Ballers. But that is the beauty of this game. You have one chance on that crown side to really make it work. And you have to. You can't say I'm going to wait for the next point because you're rotating to the challenger side again. Yeah, so you have to really make it count when you get on the crown side.
And definitely that pairing of Lane and Grant capitalizing on their periods on the crown side.
And as you can see, Destiny being a left-hander, she was able to hit that ball over in 2, which works well for her when the ball is set tight. She rolls it straight out. She was looking for a shot there. She knows she can do it, but of course, just a bit wide. Again, team of Ballers, they do not get a point on a bad serve. but they still have a chance.
And you're starting to see perhaps some fatigue setting in as we get deep into this first set.
Definitely. You're seeing the teams taking a little longer to get back to the serving side. Again, this type and this style, this format is very difficult when you have to rotate from one side to the next and get back on the court to play your style of volleyball. And look at that. Ballers, they have 1 point on the board. Might be 2 here. What a save there by Tennille to save that ball.
Definitely a good rally here.
This is a bit of beach tennis where we're just seeing some bumping back and forth. But here we might have a spike. Nope, another bump. But good placement there by Tennille Chapman. Now they have 2 points.
So Chapman, good luck, and Lewis moving themselves out of that elimination spot.
Oh, what an overspike there by Destiny to take DJ Hazards over to the crown side yet again. And a nice spot there. Again, she's very good in terms of her placement. You saw the part there, Marsha, a bit of it, a glimpse. This is a long rally here. Let's see who, and DJ Hazards, they were able to capitalize.
So less than 2 minutes remaining in this first set. Lane and Grant running away with it at this stage. Let's see now if Mears and Leacock could perhaps pick up a point, setting up a potential playoff with Batson and Sandyford.
Let's see. They have to. Oh, well.
Unfortunately, commentators curse.
Oh, nice spike there by Shakira Oliver. So
we're into the final minute.
That is correct. So now any bad serves count here. So this is where you have to be smart, Marsha. If you realize that you are trailing a team, you don't want to go there and serve the ball out or into the net. You want to play a safe serve just to make sure a team doesn't capitalize. The game is moving further away from Mears and Leacock. I don't know if they can make anything of it in 20 seconds or less. Just under 10 seconds. Let's see if any team could get at least one more point.
So just like that, it's over for this first set. And unfortunately, the team new to this, not true to this, lived up to their name, being eliminated, unfortunately, after the first set. That's Gianna Leacock and Michaela Mears. And after a slow start, we had Ballers picking up 2 late points to ensure that they would make it into the next round. And a relatively late surge from the Sky Blue team of Phoenix Red CC of Tiffany Webster and Shakira Oliver, finishing, 4 points. They got off to a slow start, but they were able to rally on the back end.
They did surprisingly well to capitalize and gain 4 points, which puts them tied for third. I think that was quite well for the team who, as I mentioned before, this is their first beach competition. Unlike Kuzara and Gabrielle, Sandy Cheeks, although this is their first competition as well, they have played on the beach via different volleyball practices. So, it was quite, I don't want to say shocking, but I think they did quite well to hold their own and move on to the second set.
So some light showers passing over us here at Brandon's Beach, the venue for our Capture the Crown beach volleyball competition for the Big Beach Festival 2025. And before we return to the action, just to remind you of our sponsors for this year's festival, we have several sponsors that we would definitely want to appreciate and say a special thank you to. Those sponsors being We Gathering, Sagicor General, Flow Barbados, the Barbados Lottery, Stads Visitors Center, Rascals Barbados Restaurant, Beach Bar and Water Park, Atlantic Marketing, Bryden Stokes Distribution, Pharmacy Sales, Aventa Barbados, and Glacial Pure, those sponsors of the Big Beach Festival. And of course, a special sponsor for the Capture the Crown volleyball competition. We have Courts Ready Cash sponsoring some of the prizes here. So now, Anicia, we're down to 4 teams. As we prepare for the second set, what are teams looking to do?
So teams are probably going to play a bit more safe. Again, 10 minutes, fatigue has set in quite a bit. You'll realize they're not running as fast, jumping as high. So now they're going to look to play more shots. Again, the same strategy has to remain. You try to get on the crown side, and once you're on the crown side, you capitalize. 4 teams, the whistle is blown at the same speed, but it seems like it goes faster because there are less teams. So you have to get back around much quicker than in the first set. When we get to the third set, again, you're going to see a much slower pace because, again, we have 3 teams. And as soon as that whistle is blown and one team is out, you have to be back on that serving side. So teams are going to play a bit more safe. You might not see the jump in. You might see more standing shots, standing roll shots. But again, it's really to just put them in places where you could capitalize on the point.
So we have Lane and Grant there in deep conversation with the team Sandy Cheeks, Batson and Sandyford. Could they be strategizing? Like, is there a way in this format that teams could try to help each other until they get to the last round?
Colluding? Well, you know what? What is funny about Sandy Cheeks and DJ Hazard is they play for the same indoor team, at least 3 of them. They're quite close. And I'm sure they're not necessarily discussing strategy, how they could help each other out, but they're just saying, oh, probably a little trash talk is happening in between there. But I don't think teams are actually trying to work together where they could say, okay, I want you to do this or that so we could help each other. It is pure competition, competitiveness, and I'm just thinking that they just want to get as many points as they could to move forward to the next set and make sure that they're not the lowest scoring team.
So the teams are back on court for the second set of the women's final of the Big Beach Festival Capture the Crown Beach Volleyball Competition. And we have DJ Hazard, that team of Destiny Lane and Janika Grant, starting on the crown side. They dominated the first set. Let's see what they'll do in the second.
And I think they would have captured 1 point already. And how this set works based on the points that you would have scored in the first set. So, for instance, DJ Hazard, they had 7 points, so they automatically will start on the queen side. And then, of course, if the next highest scoring team would be the first challenger and so on.
So they're up against Phoenix, Red CC, Tiffany Webster, and Shakira Oliver, making their way now onto the crown side.
Just, you can see, as I mentioned, Julia Lulis, she barely got off of the ground, out of the sand just now, and you can see fatigue setting in just a bit at the start of this second set.
And how much of a factor would the rain be at this stage? We have a light drizzle, but would it affect the players much?
A light drizzle, not so much. When it starts to get heavy, let's say it is running in your hair and maybe some product from your hair is dripping into your face where your eyes are burning, then it could be a problem. And that actually happened last week where we had some youngsters playing in the tournament. It was pouring rain, and based on the product that they had in their hair, their eyes were burning. But right now, few drizzles, not much of an impact. So Phoenix CC, they have 1 point on the board as well.
Ballers missing out on another opportunity to get on the scoreboard. And with less teams in this set, you don't want to run the chance of trying to rally too late and running out of time.
And the referee, in this set, teams might say, let's take our time walking back to the challenger side. But the referee is going to blow that whistle within 8 seconds. So you have to get back there because once she blows that whistle, you need to serve the ball.
So you really need to keep the game moving.
Exactly. Oh,
Some miscommunication there, perhaps, between Lewis and Chapman Goodluck.
and they failed to try to get 1 point. So right now we have 3 teams with 1 point on the board. Oh, they do have a point. Surprisingly, Lane and Grant, DJ Hazards, but I think the score might be a bit wrong. Check it.
Potentially some much longer rallies in this second set.
And Julia Lewis is making it a bit hard. If you notice, Marsha, all of the serves are going to Julia, and that is strategy. Tennille is the dominant spiker of the two, so of course you don't want to serve. The passer more than likely is going to be the spiker. So you can see a lot of teams deciding to serve to Julia from ballers.
Lane and Grant looking to get back on the crown side.
Nice defense there by Shakira Oliver.
And
from
they've
Phoenix
succeeded.
CC, but she didn't succeed.
So hopefully now they can pick up their first points. Unfortunately, no.
And this is quite shocking for the second set, considering how they ran away with the first set. But every single set, the points, you reset the points and you start again.
And we are approaching the halfway mark in this set. So now it's do or die time, essentially.
Julia rolls it just out, but they are in the lead with 3 points, followed by Phoenix Red with 2. And Sandy Cheeks and DJ Hazards are yet to get on the board. Let's see here, Marsha, if they can try to get on the board with 1 point. And with a bump, they were able to get 1 point, and that is all they need. Maybe they could keep the momentum going here. Good movement there from Tennille. Big spike, but just long. 2 points. 3 teams with 2 points here in the second set. Nice serve there from Webster.
So do we play the 3-point eliminator if there are 3 teams? Let's say all the teams are tied on 2 points at the end of the 10 minutes.
You know what? That is a great question. And considering we only need 3 teams, though, to go through to the final set, let's say the score remains like this, obviously those 3 will go through to the final set.
Batson and Sandyford still looking for their first points in this second set.
And they have it. And this is going to be a tight one. As you can see, the scores are quite close. Just about 3.5 minutes. And the serves here are really giving Janika and Destiny a hard time in this set. They're not getting the passes up like before to do a 3-set, a pass, set, spike. But they are in the lead right now with 3 points. Could they get back on track? And they're at 4. And you can really rally off a couple points on the crown side if, you stay focused and everything falls into place.
So after a relatively slow start, Lane and Grant, picking up the pace, living up to that label of favorites once again. So under 3 minutes remaining in this second set, and they're likely to run away with it.
And Tiffany Webster, she is serving quite strong. Every time she goes to the back line to serve, despite who the opponent is, she is making it very tough for them to pass the ball up, because you want to pass the ball relatively close to the net, because the closer you are to the net, the chances of you actually qualifying the ball is higher. It's high, I should say. And ballers, they clip the line.
Yes.
Now they're tied with DJ Hazards with 4 apiece.
So looking much better in this second set than they did in the first.
Definitely, definitely. So Phoenix Red, they are trying to get at least one more point here. Well, to make sure they're safe. Sandy Cheats, they're still chasing 1 point behind, but they can try to tie this game with, of course, Phoenix CC. Again, they are not able to qualify and make it over to the crown side.
So just about a minute remaining in this second set. And at this stage, it looks like Sandy Cheeks, that pair of Kazara Batson and Gabrielle Sandiford, will be the ones to be eliminated.
That is correct. And they actually just served the ball, made a service error, and gave a point to ballers. All right, Sandy Cheeks are on the crown side.
And
Can
they're
they get
hustling.
2? Can they get 2? An overset there by Gabby.
Still alive.
And Gabby hits a good one. And they were able to capitalize 2 apiece for Webster and Oliver, Phoenix, CC, and Sandy Cheeks.
They could pick up 1 point and avoid the eliminator.
They can. About 10 seconds left here. And they do. And they do. In the last couple seconds of the set, they crept from being the, 1 point, having 1 point, to put their spot into the third set with the top 3 teams. Just beating out Phoenix, Red, CC.
So we started with 5 teams. Now we are down to just 3, with Phoenix Red CC being eliminated in this second set. The pair of Tiffany Webster and Shakira Oliver. In Sky Blue, they only managed to pick up 2 points in the second set. So unfortunately, they'll not be making it into that final round. So DJ Hazard, that's Destiny Lane and Janika Grant, they picked up 5 points. So too did ballers Tennille Chapman Goodluck and Julia Lewis, with Sandy Cheeks coming through late in the second set to pick up 3 quick points. That's the pair of Kazara Batson and Gabrielle Sandiford securing their spot in this third and final set. So as the teams prepare, fatigue is setting in. We had some rain. The rain has held up. What is the mindset now heading into this final set?
Go hard. It is the last 10 minutes. You want to dig deep. This is it. The competition is over after this. Again, we have Courts Ready Cash. They would have sponsored our prize money. Of course, you want to take home that first place, which is $500, second place $350, and third place $200. So, of course, they're going to dig deep. They have some motivation now. Not saying they didn't have it before, but now that they have the chance, top three teams to get on the podium, you're going to see the teams going as hard as they can. Hustle, hustle, hustle.
So Lane focused. Some deep conversation happening between Lewis and Chapman Goodluck.
And I've noticed Antasia Mason, she has been giving them a couple tips during the timeouts, and it seemed to have worked in that second set as they were able to tie for the top points along with DJ Hazards. So what we have seen so far, Marcia, these top 3 teams will definitely be on the podium. Phoenix Red CC, they bow out of the competition at 4th place, which is still great, a very good achievement considering it is their first beach volleyball tournament. We have to also give kudos to not new to this, but true to this.
New to this, but not true to this. It was an interesting play on their name. You know, they admitted, guys, we're new to this, but we're going to try.
Exactly.
We're gonna try.
And they would have finished 5th, so congrats to them as well. But now it is really to see who will capture the crown here at the BiiG 2025 event.
Yes, that's the Barbados Olympic Association Independence Invitational Games, the BiiG Beach Festival, held in collaboration with We Gathering, a national year-long celebration of Barbadian culture, heritage, and community for each parish, 1 parish per month, culminating in St. Michael, the home of the capital city of Bridgetown. It's November, the month of independence here in Barbados. And once again, as the teams prepare to hit the court, we have Team DJ Hazard, that's Destiny Lane and Janika Grant, starting once again on the crown side.
Can they get a run from the start?
Sandyford preparing to serve. Oh no, that's Chapman Goodluck preparing to serve for ballers.
As you can see, she's running there to get on the court, but her teammate unfortunately serves it in the net.
Now Sandyford with the serve.
And that was a nice, smart play by Gabby. She realized that Destiny and Janica were quite close, and she pushed that ball back. Again, you can see they're playing quite smart over there, Sandy Cheeks. Nice rally. They make it over to the crown side.
And they seem to have a renewed burst of energy, that pair of Sandyford and Batson. Not taking any chances, but unfortunately not picking up any points. So Lane with the serve there.
And ballers, first point on the board.
Batson now with the serve to Lewis.
And Lewis seems to be jumping a bit higher in this set. Nice play by Julia. She realized she was a little off balance there, and she just knuckled it over, able to get 2 points on the board. She's a bit angry at herself for hitting the ball into the net, but they're leading with 2 points so far. Realize they have to hustle to get back on the challenger side, as we only have 3 teams here in this 3rd set. A net call, or a double call there by the referee. And Julia Lewis bumping it over there in 2. Again, you are going to see a lot of 2 plays here, Marcia. As the teams get tired, they're not going to want to do the 1, 2, 3. They're going to try to be crafty and smart and put the ball over in 2. And that is an ace, but again, service aces, they don't count.
But at least it will get them
Over
onto
to
the crown side.
Correct. Or service errors, I should say.
Lewis with the serve. Picked up by Sanford.
And she rolls it just long. We have DJ Hazards trying to get back on the crown side.
Still in search of their first points in this 3rd and final set.
Nice save there by Julia. A nice hustle there by Tanil Chapman. Good luck. And that is a point. 3 points for the ballers.
So after a relatively slow start in the first set, The team of ballers trying to run away with it all, taking that top prize. Hopefully, they're off to a flyer. 3 points up with
That
just
is
about
correct.
6.5 minutes left to go.
And as you can see, DJ Hazards are struggling a bit. I would be surprised. Let's see if who could get the next point between DJ Hazards and Sandy Cheeks. Again, DJ Hazards are the favorites, but with experience, with ballers, they are running away with it here.
Lewis now with the serve.
A very good serve there from Julia Lewis. They can't get it back, and they're back on the crown side, pushing for a 4. And I must say, Marcia, the serves here tonight, excellent.
Good serve there by Batson.
Excellent. Strong serves. They're placing them strategically into spots or at players, and they're working quite well.
So Sandyford and Batson still in search of their first points in this third and final set.
And what a spike there from Destiny. Maybe a little anger, but it takes them over to the crown side. Can they get one?
We're approaching the halfway mark in this set. No time to play around.
And again, she was able, well, they were able to get a point, touch off the block, and now they're on the scoreboard. And what a shot. What a shot from Sandyford. Can they get one, Marcia? Ball is over in 2. And what a spike by Tennille. You know, in this set, you would think that they will be fatigued. You will see a lot more roll shots. But they're actually jumping and hitting this ball. Again, they're trying to capture the crown.
It seems as if Chapman, Goodluck, and Lewis will be running away with this third and final set.
Ooh, and she was trying to be smart there. She realized that Tennille was drawn up to the net, so she was trying to push it deep, but of course the ball went into the net. And you can see Tennille being very smart, but what a play, what a play. What? Very good play by both sides.
Definitely the rally of the night.
Very good hustle. And look at that. Ballers, 6 points on the board, 4 minutes remaining.
At this stage, can you see anyone overhauling those 6 points?
You know what? 4 minutes, that is still a lot of time. Once you get on the crown side and you could get your rhythm going, your momentum going, you could rally off a good 3-4 points. So I'm still leaving it open for anyone to take the crown. But they're not making it easy on themselves. Again, a nice ace there from the ballers to get back onto the crown side. And Tennille, she is being quite smart.
Definitely turned up the play a notch.
She's seeing the finish line. A nice sharp shot there from Destiny. She saw that space and she just worked it there. But they have to act now, Marcia.
Sandyford and Batson now on the crown side, still in search of their first points. Perhaps they could decide, you know, let's try for second place.
They have to go back to the service side to try that again. Good intention, but just a bit wide for Tennille Chapman Goodluck. All right. Let's see if DJ Hazards could at least get a couple points on this side. All right, 2 points for DJ Hazard.
2 minutes remaining.
Nice spike there from Just Long. I thought it was in, but it was Just Long. 3 points for DJ Hazards. Can they stay on this side?
Let's see. Could we be in for some late drama?
They're inching closer and closer. 2 ballers. And that is 5. As I mentioned, Marcia, once you get on that side and momentum is on your side, you can rally off a couple points. And you're seeing it here.
So with just about a minute to go.
And that is 6 points. It is going to be a race for that crown.
Right down to the wire.
And here in the final minute, the bad serves do count. 7-all.
So 2 teams on 7. Who will take it all, Anicia?
Time will tell.
Seconds remaining. A safe serve by Lewis.
What a late surge from the DJ Hazards. They're leading.
Alert surge. And incidentally, the highest individual score of this game so far.
An unfortunate bounce on the net to take Sandyford over, the Sandy Cheats over to the crown side.
Could they have done enough?
About 10 seconds remaining. I don't know if it's enough time for our ballers to get over to the crown side. But here they go. It is now or never.
And that's it. That's the final whistle.
What a comeback.
So,
what a comeback.
There you have it. After a late start in this third and final set, we have the team of DJ Hazard, Destiny Lane, and Janika Grant coming away with the title, winning the 2025 Capture the Crown Women's Competition, amassing 8 points in this third and final set. You know, at one stage we thought that Ballers would have come away with this one. The team of Chenille Chapman Goodluck and Julia Lewis really led things in the early stages of this final set, and they opened up, you know, essentially a 6-point gap at one stage. They went to 7, but that late surge from DJ Hazard moving to 8 and taking this women's title. And with it, Anicia, the prize money?
So DJ Hazards, they will be walking home with $500 thanks to Courts Ready Cash. Ballers, $350. And of course, we have Sandy Cheeks with $200.
So, Anicia, your pre-tournament favorites, DJ Hazard, Lane, and Grant, coming through, albeit late, but coming through in the end to take the 2025 title. Your thoughts on the women's competition?
You know what? DJ Hazards, that was a display of grit and determination. They seemed to be down and out, you know, as they were walking back to the service lines. Shoulders were, you know, shrugged. And they seemed like, you know what, this is over for us. But they rallied. They got 1 point, 2 points, 3 points. They realized, you know what, we have a chance. They fought, they dug deep, and they were able to come out quite, as you said, a late surge, but they were able to come out on top. Kudos to Ballers. You know, that experience showed out very early in the third set here. And they did at one point we thought, you know what, they had the game, but kudos to them for coming together, unlikely pairing, but coming together and capturing second. And I must say, Sandy Cheats, if you recall, Marcia, in the beginning I said, Sandy Cheats, this is a team that you have to watch. You know, they're not a dominant team, but they're quite, I think I used the word, cheeky
feisty.
Feisty. And here you realize they had some very good serves, some very good rallies. You would have noticed that Gabby, she saw the court quite well and was able to make some good placements. And they are on the podium here at the 2025 Capture the Crown.
So just to remind you then, our women's champion of the Capture the Crown competition, the team of DJ Hazard, that's Destiny Lane and Janika Grant, coming away with the women's title. Runners up, that's first runners up, we have Ballers, Chenille Chapman Goodluck and Julia Lewis. And of course, taking the third spot, the team of Sandy Cheeks, Kazara Batson and Gabrielle Sandiford. And as we prepare then for the men's final, Just to remind you that you're watching coverage of the BiiG Beach Festival 2025. That's the Barbados Olympic Association's Independence Invitational Games, live from Brandon's Beach here in Barbados. This year's festival had 10 sports, with beach volleyball being one of those 10, taking place across 3 different venues. The Stad's Visitor Center, we had surfing at the Soup Bowl in Bashaba on the east coast of the island, and of course Brandon's Beach here, the venue for the aquathlon, beach netball, beach rugby, and so much more. And this year's BiiG Festival is held in collaboration with We Gathering, a national year-long celebration of community, culture, and heritage in Barbados, where each month one parish is highlighted till we get down until November, with Barbados having 11 parishes, November being the month of independence here in Barbados. So it's only fitting that the festival, the Regathering celebration, culminates in St. Michael, the home of the capital city, in the month of independence. Now, a big thank you to our sponsors. The Regathering unit are part of the sponsorship team, as well as our other sponsors: Sagicor General, Flow Barbados, the Barbados Lottery, Stad's Visitor Center, Rascals Barbados Restaurant, Atlantic Marketing, Bryden Stokes Distribution, Pharmacy Sales, Aventa Barbados, and Glacial Pure, sponsors of the 2025 BiiG Beach Festival, and of course Courts Ready Cash, the sponsor of the cash prizes for our Capture the Crown beach volleyball competition. So Anicia, then, as we look ahead to the men's competition, who should we keep an eye on?
So we have 6'7" Gooners, the young dynamic duo of Dominic Duran and Aaron Taylor. They look good. They look very good. I would like to give them the edge, but I think they lack a little bit of experience, but they have been playing very, very well together. So I have them as, a top 2. We have the OJs, Omar Seeley and Jonathan Aline. They are powerful, they are experienced. Both of them would have represented Barbados at the senior beach volleyball level. So I could see them actually, competing against the OJs. But to be honest, this field is wide open. All of these contenders, they have a lot to offer. And with Paul and Akeem,
yes,
very
and
smart.
Akeem being, one half of the defending champions from 2024.
They are very smart. Both setters, so you never know what they're going to do on that second ball. And we have seen it here throughout the quarterfinals, the semifinals. Of course, we have the Kitishans. They always make the top 5. They have always been in the top 5 from the time we were running Capture the Crown. They're here again. They are a pair that, you might not expect much, but they just come through every single time.
Very consistent.
Very consistent. And lastly, we have
the double contact team.
Double contact. Taj and Jaden, not a bad duo at all. Quite smart as well. Jaden, he jumps very high, and he is quite powerful. So again, I'm saying that this pool, I believe, is quite open, and anyone can capture the crown.
So it looks as if the teams are getting ready to pull their cards to, figure out who will actually be starting on the crown side and who will be the first up as challengers. And if you're just joining us, we've just had the women's final of the Capture the Crown beach volleyball competition, with the pair of DJ Hazard, that's Destiny Lane, and Janica Griffith coming out on top, winning the women's title for 2025. And now we're preparing for the big men's final. 5 teams competing in this one. We started with 12 teams, so give us a sense of how we got down to this 5.
So we started with 12 teams, 3 pools of 5, 3 pools of 4, 3 pools of 4, sorry. From there, that was the quarterfinals. The top 10 teams, they advanced to the semifinals, where we had 2 pools of 5. And from the semifinals, the top 4 teams, they directly advanced to the finals. Then we had a 1-set, 10-minute elimination game with the 6 remaining teams and 1 spot on the line for that final spot. And of course, that was actually Paul and Akeem. Akeem being the winner, the champion, with Ronald, of course, last year. They had to dig very, very deep for that last and final spot in the semifinals.
And with that pair having to go through the eliminator, how much of an impact do you think that would have on them, if any, going into the final?
I don't think it would have much of an impact, to be honest. We had more than enough time for them to rest, recover, hydrate. So I don't think fatigue will play a part in terms of that extra 10 minutes. Maybe they got in a little bit more practice, a couple shots, maybe a little bit more camaraderie as a team, because of course this is the first time they're playing together. But I don't think it would have had much of an impact coming into this final.
Some lovely shots of the Bridgetown Port in the distance. This venue, one of the three venues being used for this year's Big Beach Festival, Brandon's, is one of the best beaches in Barbados, if not the Caribbean, if I do say so myself, Anicia. You've been all over the Caribbean. You've played volleyball, beach volleyball in a number of venues. Your take?
You know, I'm a little biased, Marsha. I would like to say Miami Beach is the best beach just because it's close to home, but of course we definitely have some of the best beaches in the world, not just the Caribbean, but in the world, of course. And as you mentioned, I would have played beach volleyball in Central America, Caribbean islands, and of course, I still think, not being biased, I still think we are the top one.
Wonderful. And as the teams prepare to warm up, you can enjoy the beautiful sights and scenes here live from Brandon's Beach as we prepare for the men's final of the Capture the Crown Beach Volleyball Competition. It's the 2025 Big Beach Festival here in Bridgetown, Barbados.
This is now the official warm-up for the men's finalists. Our men's finalists consist of OJs, which is Jonathan Aline and Omar Seeley in the green. Double contact, which is Tejar Reed
Welcome back to Brandon's Beach here in beautiful Barbados for the Big Beach Festival. That's the Barbados Olympic Association's Independence Invitational Games. And you're in time to see the men's final of the Capture the Crown Beach Volleyball competition. I'm Marsha Boyce, and joining me now for the men's final is Nicholas Branker. Now, Nicholas is a former national player, and he's also the current manager of the men's senior indoor volleyball team. So, Nicholas, we started with 12 men's teams. We're down to the final 5 as the teams prepare to be introduced. Tell us, do you have a favorite at this stage, and then we'll go down through each team.
Well, thank you very much for your welcome. We do have some very interesting players here. So to say I have a favorite, we do have a lot of the national players playing in this tournament. We have Dominic Durant. Also, he's one of the players that went into our junior team and also made his debut for the national senior team this year. We have Jonathan. Jonathan is also playing with a very seasoned beach player. So they're a team that you have to watch. Who do we also have? We have Paul and Mears, and they too are 2 national players. But I'm not so sure about Paul's ability on the beach. They seem to got to the finals, so I'm very happy to see that. But we'll see how it goes.
So just to quickly give you a rundown of those 5 teams taking the court, we have 67 Gunners in blue. That's Aaron Taylor and Dominic Durant. The Sugar Boys, they'll be in orange, now taking to the crown side. That's the Kittitian pair of Kish Tolakani and Jaden Sebastian. OJs, they're in neon green. That's Jonathan Allen and Omar Seeley. Double contact, now taken to the challenger side. That's the team of Tajir Reed and Jaden Batson. And of course, the team in sky blue, that's Mears and Paul, simply going by their last names, Akeem Mears and Paul Doughty. And of course, Akeem Mears being one half of the pair that won the 2024 men's title. Nicholas?
Yes, so we've seen the Kittitian pair start off quite quickly with gone rush to 2 love. So let's see how it goes. Right now we have Dominic Durant and Taylor. Dominic is a very, very skilled player, so I think they too will do well. So we'll see.
Some good early movement here.
So we have Taylor spiking the ball down lane. I think based on what I'm seeing so far, Taylor will be going to serve at, being that he's not as strong as Durant at the net. So if I were playing, I would be serving at him. With Reed and Batson, Batson is actually an outside player, where Reed, he's actually a setter for Club Foundation and for the junior team. So his attack, I would be questioning that as well. I would be serving him. The Kittitians, I am not so familiar with them. I've watched them played earlier. They both are playing well. They're very technical, not very explosive, but very technical.
And Anicia was mentioning, this pair has made the final in every single Capture the Crown competition we've had so far.
Yes, they have. And Mears has been able to beat them in the finals every year. So we'll see. But this actually is Mears' 3rd year into the finals and the 3rd different person he's playing with. He's never had the same teammate in any of the Capture the Crown finals that he's played in. So that's one to note. So we'll see how he does in this final. We have Paul here with a nice roll, getting their first point. That's very good for them. So they'll try to not get the Kittitian pair to run off too many points too early. So again, it's not really about how hard you can spike, but as you see Paul there just winning a point with a nice touch. Your technical skills really come into play on the beach, and your fitness.
Definitely. If you had to, let's say, put together the perfect pair, what skills will you be looking for?
Well, your first pass is very important. and you have to you have to read the game. So someone that reads the game. As I said earlier, having a powerful spike is not really that important. And then I would also choose someone who can block. So a very good passer and a blocker. Those are the very good two. So, but two skilled players is very hard to beat. As you can see, Paul Doughty and Akeem Mears running ahead to 5 points quickly. And Paul is not the best spiker, but I can see he's very technical. So
Going for placement.
correct placement and read. Once you can read the game, you will score a lot of points in this capture the crown. It's a very fun and different way to play beach volleyball, and it has really captured the attention of many of the young players.
So the pair of Mears and Doughty definitely giving themselves a good cushion on which to stand with about 5 minutes remaining in this first set.
Yes, and we have Jonathan, Aline, and Seeley who are yet to score. And Seeley is as I said, is a veteran beach player, and Jonathan, a national player as well, an outside attacker. So they too should need to get it going as quick as possible, or they will find themselves being eliminated quite early.
So OJ's unfortunately not being able to capitalize on being on the crown side, so still in search of that first point.
Correct. So serves into the net do not count only until the last minute of the game. That's to try to get, see again, once again, very skilled and reading the game. Dominic was too far off of the net. It seems to be a little confusion there with the referee. So, okay, they seem to call out. So Dominic and his partner Taylor and his partner would have come over to the crown side. You can only win points on the crown side, just for those who now joined us. You can only win points on the crown side. So it's kind of like how would you say, a beat off kind of style. So you can once you win the point, you try to beat the side on the left side of the court that we are facing. You try to beat that team off of without letting them score as much points. So you can only score from the left hand side of the field.
So Tilakani with the serve for Sugar Boys.
That's a very good touch and defensive play. And that now would see Reed and Batson having to come off. Mears and Paul trying to extend their lead, and they would now come over to the crown side. Very exciting, and the thing about it is that you may come barely qualify in the first round, and you still have 2 more opportunities where you can win.
So it's important to at least get that first point on the board.
Yes, you have to get through the rounds, obviously trying not to exert as much energy, as little energy as possible, so that you are not too tired for the final. So Mears and Doughty still at 5, Reed and Batson at 2, the Petition pair at 2, Taylor and Durant at 1, and Aline and Seeley still yet to score. That's a good block there by our Petition pair. Sebastian. That's a good. He called his partner off the net because he realized Sebastian could not spike the ball, so he called his partner off the net so to play defense, and it pays the dividends because they've now come over to the crown side. They are still yet to score though,
With just
and
about
they
2
still
minutes.
have not.
Yes.
They still have not.
Time's running out for them.
Yeah. They have to at least get 1. The closest person to them is only 1 point, so they need to at least get 1 point to keep pushing on. And okay,
Now
I thought
Durant
that
and
was
Taylor have the opportunity to give themselves a tiny cushion
yeah,
at the bottom.
they need to push on, and they do. They get another point there, which leaves Aline and Seeley is only going down to the final. It's in the 2nd minute. less than 2 minutes remaining. So they may see themselves eliminated quite early.
And perhaps we could be seeing a very late surge from Taylor and Durant. They're up to 3 points already.
Yeah. As soon as it gets into the final minute, bad serves will count. So if you serve poorly or you have a fault on your serve, the team on the Crown side will win a point. So you see, things can change quite quickly.
Taylor and
That's the
Durant
1 minute mark.
definitely capitalizing on their time on the Crown side.
Correct. They're no
Level with Mears and Doughty.
correct. And they're serving, I don't understand, they're serving the stronger attacker. What you try to do in beach volleyball is try to serve the weaker attacker so that you have an opportunity to counter attack or to block the ball. But they're serving Dominic, who's the stronger attacker out of the pair.
So less than 30 seconds remaining, and it looks like the team of OJs, Jonathan Allen and Omar Seeley, will be the ones to be eliminated after this first set.
17 seconds. This is going to be tight. And as I said, once it gets into the final minute and you serve out, the team on the Crown side will win a point, and that's going to be the final. Yeah, and he wins another point. So we have 3 teams level on 5, and this will see Allen and Seeley being eliminated in this first round.
So that's the end of the first set of the men's final of the Capture the Crown Beach volleyball competition. Unfortunately, the team of OJs, that's Jonathan Allen and Omar Seeley, being eliminated after this first set, failing to pick up a point in this round. We had 5 teams finishing on, that's 3 teams finishing on 5 points. 67 Gunners, Aaron Taylor and Dominic Durant. We had Sugar Boys, Tush Tilakani and Jaden Sebastian, as well as Mears and Paul. That's Akeem Mears and Paul Doughty. All 3 teams on 5 points, with double contact being the other team making it through to the second set. Jajar Reed and Jaden Batson, they picked up 2 points to secure their place in this second set. So, Nicholas, at this stage, what are the teams deliberating? What are the discussions? What are we doing to prepare for the second set?
At this point, I would be discussing what we did wrong and seeing what we can do to improve. Also looking at which teams, in each team, who will be focusing on serving, trying to pressuring them. But yeah, trying to hydrate as much as possible and focus on moving forward. Whatever you've done before no longer counts. It starts all over again, and then another elimination round will come shortly.
So in that first set, we saw the pair of Mears and Paul really taking an early lead. Perhaps fatigue started to set in, as then the other 2 teams, 67 Gunners and Sugar Boys, were able to rally as well and pick up 5 points.
Yeah, the team of Mears and Paul Doughty, the lack of their creativity in their name doesn't speak to the level of play. As I said, they are 2 very experienced players playing at the international level. So they should be able to read the volleyball quite easily. Then Batson and Reed, they too are 2 junior players who would have just came back from the Norseca Championships overseas. So we have some good stiff competition here going on down at Brandon's Beach for this BOA event.
And reflecting on the first set, were there any particular errors that stood out to you, or anything that you think an individual pairing might need to improve on?
Yeah, as I was saying, you have, especially with the team with Dominic Durant and Aaron Taylor, 67 Gunners, I find other teams are serving the stronger attacker. They tried to eliminate that, and they then ended up finishing with 5 points. and that only came after a late surge. I think you need to focus on serving your weaker attacker to eliminate them from scoring points. You need to score points, but you also need to stop your opponent from scoring points as well.
So as the teams return to the court, we have on the Crown side
67
the
Gooners.
pair of 67 Gooners. That's Aaron Taylor and Dominic Durant. Serving to them, it looks like the pair of Mears and Paul. That's Aki Mears and Paul Doughty getting things off.
Correct. Yeah, after them you see double contact, team in yellow, it looks like. And then we will have Sugar Boys going at it. Starters are getting their things in order, and that's it. You serve off. Good serve there by Paul. Again, serving the weaker attacker, and Dominic scores early.
And they got off to a slow start in the first set, but making
67
sure
Gooners
it won't happen again.
They've got their one, and everyone's back to level terms, but they made sure they got their one early on the board. That's that's poor defense. You need to jump at the net there to block that one, to make him think or give him another option to think of. Is it in? Yeah, so
Sugar Boys also picking up their first point.
the slower starters starting early this time. That's a good serve there by Mears and Paul, knocking off Sugar Boys from the Crown side. You'll see if Mears and Paul can get a point early o'clock. That's good defense there by 67 Gooners. And again, Mears being the strong attacker, you try to get him to not play that first ball. Same thing we spoke about again, and they're serving the stronger attacker. And that's Mears and Paul now up to 2. And they've scored. Paul scores 2. Paul scores 2. So
Aki Mears and Paul Doughty not wasting any time here in this second set.
no, they're not. Rushing ahead to 3. If you get those points, again, you're serving Mears, the stronger attacker. Seem to be making that same mistake quite often. Double contact serving into the net. Serves into the net don't count until the last minute of the game. So Mears and Paul being knocked off of the Crown side, and they've rushed to 4 points.
Now
We'll see if Sugar Boys will score to run to 2. Dominic will try to stop that, and they've been called into the net, so they have to come off of the Crown side.
And we thought Taylor and Durant had picked up their first points, but unfortunately it seems they hadn't. So now they're still trying to get off the mark.
Yeah, they too that have lost that point there. So teams seem to just rotating without scoring. That's a very good push there by Mears, seeing that Reed was very much up close to the net. We serve that ball out, so Mears and Paul will not score a point on that rally. I guess someone spoke to them, so they're not serving Paul. Paul scores. Paul scores.
Is it a little bit too late now for that tactical change?
Well, yeah, they've now gone to 5, and 5 is the same number that they've qualified with last. Oh, that was a that could have gone anywhere there.
Yep. So let's see if Reed and Batson can finally get some points in this second set. And they do.
And they do. They're off the mark. Batson, they're bullying the pass early so that he can attack the ball, and it's paid dividends for them. Mears and Paul will try to see if they can beat off Batson and read before they can score anymore. That's a good defensive play there by Reed. Lapse in communication there. Sees them being knocked off of the Crown side. Good play there by Paul. Paul seems to have stepped up his game in this second elimination, and that sees them going to 6 with a spike out from Sugar Boys. That's too late. That was too easy for Dominic. Oh, good play by Mears. Very good reflexive play by Mears.
Some defensive luck there.
Yeah. Come on. That's a very good run down by Batson. And they will have played it back to Mears, who's a stronger attacker. And that will see them scoring another point. They've run up to 8. So we know, and this is only half of the time gone. So they've already passed, well past their last qualifying score.
And the elimination battle is still very much on.
Yep.
2 teams with just 1 point. Taylor and Durant yet to score.
Correct. That's a good serve by Taylor. Let's see if they can score now. They're on the Crown side. Too easy for Batson, and Batson plays it and goes back up. And they will knock Durant and Taylor off. They will have to go around again to try to score a point. While I was sitting in the crowd, Durant came to me and told me he's going to win this. I have this win. I have won this already. Kind of spoke too early. Let's see.
With about 4 minutes remaining, they'll have an uphill battle, because Reed and Batson at least picking up some late points here, ensuring they're safe to qualify for that 3rd set.
Yeah, 2 points will see them go past Sugar Boys if they don't score anymore. Let's see how they do. The actual 2 teams are 2 teams at the bottom right now, struggling. This is the fight for elimination. Good block by Dominic, but it blocks out of the court. Seeing them being knocked off of the Crown side once again. And Sugar Boys failed to pass that ball up. And they too will not move on in their points. That's a very good touch by double contact. Oh, good touch by Mears as well. And very good playing by Paul. That sees them moving on to 10.
We haven't seen an eliminator 3-point rally in the event that there's a tie. Could this set probably be the first one we'll see for this competition?
Oh, so they've updated the score, so we were right. Durant and Taylor does have a point. So we were right. That's 11. That doesn't count. Let's see if they will be fighting to at least score 1 more point. But Mears denies them of that opportunity once again. Moving up to 12. Let's see how Sugar Boys plays this. They've spiked the ball deep into the backcourt, allowing them to transfer over to the Crown side. And they've won their 2nd point. They've won their 2nd point. Let's see if they'll get to 3 and get to Reed and Batson. Bumps it very high into the air, making it very difficult to pass. But, and Dominic, what's it called? Okay, it's called in. So they're knocked off. Let's see how Dominic and Taylor. Oh, good spike from Taylor. They 2 step up to 2.
So the battle of the bottom teams are still on.
Yeah, the battle is very tight. That also knows that's 3. That now sees all 3 teams except for Mears and Doughty having to fight not to be eliminated. This is very good volleyball. And 67 Gooners trying to separate themselves. We're into the last minute. Separate themselves out of that elimination zone. Very late. They saved it for very late, but better late than never. Oh. Mistake there by Batson. Let's see if... Oh, Mears and Paul doesn't extend their lead. I guess they're comfortably through to the other round, saving as much energy as possible. Sugar Boys, no on 3 points. Look how the tables have turned. And this is going to be something. Reed and Batson can now see themselves. Wow. And what Paul, not sure what you did there. Paul serves the ball deliberately, well, it looks deliberately out of bounds, giving Sugar Boys 5 points to certify that they will be going through to the finals.
So there you have it, the end of the second set. The pair Mears and Paul, that's Akeem Mears and Paul Doughty, running away with the second set with 12 points. Then a late rally from the Sugar Boys. You know, they started quickly. They were out the gate with 2. Then it took them a while to pick up those remaining 3 points. That's Kush Tilakani and Jaden Sebastian on 5 points, securing their place into that third and final set. So too the team of 67 Gunners, Aaron Taylor and Dominic Duran, they picked up 4 points in this second set. So unfortunately, the team of Double Contact,
that's correct,
of Reed and Batson being the ones being eliminated.
Yeah, they were. That's why it's very important to play it down to the very last second, because they were very much second in the running. Now seeing the bottom 2 teams going past them quite quickly, and now they have been eliminated
So
from
team
the final.
Neon Green, they're out. Team Yellow, they're out. So remaining, we have the 2 teams in blue as well as Team Orange, Sugar Boys.
Oh, making a change there.
So this now the third and final set.
Yeah.
What's the game plan?
Well, get out the gates as early as possible. As you see, getting those early points goes a long way. What Mears and Doughty did quite early in the second set, running up there to 6 or so quite quickly. That gave them a more comfortable lead. And then it allows you to relax and play your natural game without the added pressures. So getting an early start is very, very essential. Eliminating those early mistakes. And again, as I said repeatedly, the power spike is not necessarily needed. It's more about reading the game in beach volleyball.
So as we prepare for this, the third and final set of the Capture the Crown Beach Volleyball competition, the men's final, just to remind you, you're watching coverage of the BiiG Beach Festival. That's the Barbados Olympic Association Independence Invitational Games, live from Brandon's Beach in Barbados. We want to say a special thank you to our sponsors, We Gathering, Sagicor General, Flow Barbados, the Barbados Lottery, Stads Visitor Center, Rascals Barbados, Restaurant, Bar and Water Park, Atlantic Marketing, Bryden Stokes Distribution, Pharmacy Sales, Aventa Barbados, Glacial Pure. Those are the sponsors of the overall festival. And of course, the Capture the Crown competition. They have the cash prize sponsor of Quartz Ready Cash, with the top team walking away with $500 as the grand prize.
Yeah, someone will be $500 richer.
So looking at our final 3, I'm going to put you on the spot, Nicholas. Pick a winner.
Pick a winner. Based on current play, I would have to say Mears and Paul. But Dominic Durant and his partner, Aaron Taylor, you cannot count them out. Cannot count them out. So we'll see. This one is going to be. We're going to see if Sugar Boys can finally break the curse of their finals of Capture the Crown and win their first Capture the Crown. I think they've been in all finals.
Yes, they
thus
have.
far.
So we could be in for history either way, with the Kitchen team of Sugar Boys possibly winning their first title, or Akeem Mears doing the unprecedented and picking up yet another title with his third
And
different partner.
he spiked that one out. I thought it was in, but that one was gone long. So they've failed to take the first mark. Let's see how Sugar Boys do, and they would take that first point. That's 1 to Sugar Boys. Let's see how they go. Good pass and good defensive play by Mears, and that would knock them off of the crown side. Let's see if Mears and Paul can go on that early run, which they normally do. Durant spiking that ball right up to the top of in the court. I don't think they can afford to, and they've made their first point. I was just about to say they can't take as long as they did in the second set to score. I can't leave it that late. It's very dangerous to do that. Oh, good spike, good spike. That's a power spike from Mears past the block of Dominic Durant, knocking them off of the crown side. It's a shame that that spike doesn't score them a point.
Such a good play wasted.
Well, not wasted, but it doesn't really count. Let's see this, and they've scored their point. So that's 1 to Mears and Paul, and 1 to. That's everybody's 1-1. Yeah, everyone's on 1. Okay, Mears goes up to 2. Mears and Doughty go up to 2. Let's see if they'll run off some early points once again. Good serving straight to Doughty. Okay, the ref has called a dead ball. I think there's something wrong with the court. Yeah, I think when team dived there, they probably uprooted the lines of the court. So that will be called a dead ball. No one scores there. So some exciting volleyball action here at the Brandon's Beach.
And the players might welcome this unexpected break, a chance to catch your breath, settle your nerves, and regroup and go again.
I know Paul is really catching his breath and sucking out on his power aid. He's very happy for this break.
Definitely the fatigue would start to set in.
Yeah.
At this stage. We're into the third and final set.
Yeah, that would have been 20 minutes that they've played already of constant running.
And the team of Paul and Mears also had to do the elimination round to get into the final.
Correct. They
so
had
they
to
have
play
an
extra game.
Yes.
They had an extra game. Let's see if that will hamper them. Good serve there by Aaron Taylor, knocking off Mears and Doughty. Good spike. It's very hard to see who's the weaker attacker between Durant and Taylor now for 67 Gooners. They're
a very
both,
balanced team.
Yeah, they seem to be picking up the pace. That sees them going up to 2. Very good spike by Sugar Boys. They need to score on the crown end. That's what they've been failing to do. And that has seen them sticking at only 1 point. So 2 teams on 2 and one, and the final team on 1. Very stiff competition in the final set. We're seeing a lot more mistakes in this set as well. I wonder if fatigue has started to set in. Long shot there by Taylor. Taylor takes the Taylor and Durant take the lead with 3 points.
Should they pull this off, would you consider it an upset?
An upset, no. I think they have the talent that they should do it. And the blocker there not making the adjustment. That's the second ball he's hit down the line with it. And he's a left-handed spiker. So, but to say that it would be an upset, I don't think so. They definitely have the talent to do it, and the youth on their side.
Yes, looking at the body language on court, they're definitely the most energetic of the remaining
for sure.
teams.
For sure. Youth. There's nothing like youth. They've rushed up to 5 quite quickly. That's a good position to be in. That sees Sebastian in the net, giving Mears and Doughty running to 3. Good defensive play there by Taylor. Will he win that? Yes, he does. Beats Paul deep in the backcourt, knocking him off of the crown side. Can they extend their lead?
And for some reason, this particular third set of 10 minutes seems to be going a little bit quicker than the first 2.
Yeah, actually we're down to.
Yeah. This one went relatively quickly.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that.
And we might
So we
go
don't
right
have
down
much
to the
time.
wire, yes.
We don't have much time. Both teams will need to pick up angrily kicking the ball. Frustration setting in. Ball in. Mears and Doughty will need to make a push quite quickly. They serve Durant and it pays off. They've changed up their game plan and changed who they're serving to, and it pays off. Sebastian spikes the ball quite long. Seeing them not scoring any points on that play. Paul seems to be tired. Fatigue has set in, spiking that ball into the belly of the net. Time really is against these other 2 teams' side. Durant and Taylor looking to extend their lead.
You just need to play it safe from this point onward.
Yeah. And that's out. That sees them moving on. So if you're playing and the team that's in the lead is on the crown side, your objective should be to not make any mistakes. Make them beat you to win the point. But here we're seeing the guy spiking the ball out. Good spike there by Paul, knocking 6 to 7 Gunners off.
Well, it's about just over a minute and a half. Still enough time for Mears and Doughty to rally.
But they have to really dig in there, and they've
Unfortunately,
been knocked off. Will we see the young upstarts of Taylor and Durant winning? That doesn't push up their points. Only in the last minute will a serve out award the receiving team a point. That's a mistake there by Sebastian, and Paul giving them back the free ball and have lost it. That's a big mistake there. You need to be on the crown side.
So who knows, Sebastian and Tilakani could now supersede Mears and Doughty for that third spot.
They have. They've now leveled with them.
So some potential podium movement here. As
But
we're down
first
to our
place,
last
I was
3.
not about to say first place isn't even sure. but they've been knocked off. Every point here now, every play here now counts as a point. As serves will see you, and that knocks them off.
So less than 30 minutes remaining.
30 seconds remaining.
30 seconds remaining, yes.
And that's a point there for Dominic. They served into the net. Again, mistakes at this point will cost, are very costly. That sees Taylor and Durant going up to another one. I know he's going to come running to me to let me know he's won.
And there you were doubting.
And that's it. We have a new winner. We have a new winner. Oh, that's a minute. I think we probably missed a minute. That's why our time is a bit too fast. Sugar Boys.
Another late push, perhaps?
Can they get it? They're getting there. Are we going to see them coming on to see if they can win this finally?
Ooh.
Oh, good dive. Too easy. We'll make them punish them for it. Yep, and that's another point. That's 6 all.
So could we be in for another late twist?
Let's go. Oh, Mears denies them from winning. I know we have 2 teams tied on 6. So we know one thing for sure.
Third place team.
Mears has been dethroned. Mears has been dethroned from Capture the Crown 2025.
So the team of Mears and Paul, that's Akeem Mears and Paul Doughty, having to settle for the 3rd spot this time around in the 2025 competition, while we'll have our eliminator to see who will win that top spot and take home the $500 prize in the men's final of the Capture the Crown beach volleyball competition. It's all part of the BiiG Beach Festival 2025. So those remaining teams, we have 6-7 Gunners, Aaron Taylor and Dominic Durant, as well as the Sugar Boys, Kush Tilakani and Jaden Sebastian. They will go head-to-head in this remaining eliminator.
Yeah, fatigue has setting for Mears and Paul, and seeing them being eliminated, and the youth of the 67 Gunners, Aaron Taylor and Dominic Durant, prevailing to play for this playoff for 1st place.
Does the mindset change for a playoff as opposed to the regular sets?
Every point counts. No, there's no king of the crown side of the court. We are into full-on beach volleyball, so all errors can cost you. So who can prevail via the fatigue that they must be feeling after those 30 minutes, which would have played already? Who do you have? Who are you cheering for?
I think I'm liking the 6-7 Gunners, the young side.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, it would be good for the Sugar Boys. You know, they're consistent campaigners, making it to the final year after year. It would also be good for them to take home, finally, the title.
It would be. It would definitely would be. Looking at the faces of the young 67 Gunners, know like they're ready to go.
And for this
Just
eliminator, we go 3 points. No time to dilly-dally, no time to waste.
Nope.
First to 3 points takes the crown.
Yep. That's it. Every point counts.
Sugar Boys, Tilakani and Sebastian, they will be up first with the serve, so the first opportunity to get some points on the board.
Let's see.
What would you do here? Would you go for the point? Would you go for a safe serve?
Well, to be quite honest, both Durant and Taylor have been playing really well. And Taylor scoring most of the points in the last set. I would probably chance serving at Durant. His last serve came to him, he actually rolled it outside. So I would go with a strong serve to Durant to see if I can force him to probably miss pass, which is very difficult to do.
So Tilakani with the serve.
And they serve to Taylor. Let's see how it goes. And Taylor scores. I told you, he's been on. He's been on. And he goes directly and secures his first point. Let's see how he serves. And a spike out. Spike out. Let's see.
So Taylor and Durant now just one point away from taking the 2025 men's title.
1 point. Guys are really fighting for this 1 point. Too easy. Will they score? And they will. They will. They will. That's
So
2-1.
the battle isn't over just yet.
No, it's not. That's 2-1. This is the gold medal match. I'm serving Durant here. And he does. And Durant is blocked. Picked back up. Well, how will he go? And he goes and scores. That's it. That's it.
That's
Young
it.
boys.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. The pair of 6'7" Gooners, Aaron Taylor and Dominic Durant, claiming the men's title in the Capture the Crown Beat volleyball competition, needing an eliminator to do it after tying with Sugar Boys at the end of that third and final set. So to give you those final placings in the men's competition, in third place we have Akeem Mears and Paul Doughty. That's the team of Mears and Paul finishing third. Sugar Boys, unfortunately, missing out again this time around, taking the second spot. The pair of Kush Tilakani and Jaden Sebastian coming away with the silver medal and taking home the big $500 cash prize. 6'7" Gooners, the young boys, Aaron Taylor and Dominic Durant, beating the Sugar Boys on the eliminator. And in case you missed it, just to recap the women's results, we had the team of DJ Hazard claiming the women's title for 2025. That young pair of Destiny Lane and Janika Grant. Second, the runners-up Ballers, Julia Lewis and Tennille Chapman Goodluck. And third, Sandy Cheeks, the pair of Keziah Batson and Gabrielle Sandiford. So, Nicholas, your final thoughts then on the men's competition?
I think we had a very good match. Very good competition. I think the guys played well. We saw a good mixture of some defensive plays and strong attacking plays, as well as some creative touches to make the defense very difficult to play or bring back the ball. So I'm very happy to see what we've seen here and to see some of the young talent coming up and joining the Capture the Crown. And I've seen new winners here. Dominic Durant and Aaron Taylor.
A big thank you then to our sponsors for the 2025 Barbados Olympic Association Independence Invitational Games. That's the big beach festival here at Brandon's in Barbados. Our sponsors, We Gathering, Sagicor General, Flow Barbados, the Barbados Lottery, States Visitor Center, Rascals Barbados Restaurant, Atlantic Marketing, Bryden Stokes Distribution, Pharmacy Sales, Aventa Barbados, and Glacial Pure, of course, the sponsor of the cash prize for this, the Capture the Crown Beach Volleyball Tournament. Courts Ready Cash, the top prize, $500 to the winning team. So congratulations to those winning teams in the women's competition. We have the team of DJ Hazard, Destiny Lane, and Janica Grant taking away the women's crown for 2025. And moments ago, 6'7" Gooners, Aaron Taylor and Dominic Durant, the young boys needing an eliminator, but still managing to come away with the 2025 men's title. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of our coverage. I am Marsha Boyce. With me is Nicholas Branker. Earlier we were joined by Anicia Wood for Capture the Crown Beach Volleyball Championship coverage. Do enjoy the rest of your evening.